Good evening and welcome everybody to the playoffs. We are in Division E, and tonight we have the first of four playoff matches in the quarterfinals for Division E. In this series, we've got the FC Hong Kong versus FF in the Pancakes, and this is going to be a good one. Both teams seem pretty ramped up, ready to go in the pregame semantics. I'm going to take us over to the map screen real quick so we can get a start on seeing what each team selected. Oh, and I got to pick our first map. So, as you can see on the map screen, the choice of pick or first pick or map pick went over to the side of FC Hong Kong. They were the higher seed, so they get to choose which one they wanted, and they elected to go with the map pick, which I mentioned in the last stream. It seems to be that we're kind of seeing a little bit of shift into map pick over first pick priority in the last couple matches that I've been able to stream, but they elected to go with a map pick, and so they picked to ban Dragonshire and Hanamura Temple. On the side of FF and the Pancakes, they banned Tomb of the Spider Queen and Battlefield of Eternity, and FC Hong Kong elected to go to the map of Infernal Shrines. I have so much information that I want to get through on both these teams in the pregame, but I'm already getting invited to the lobby. Both these teams, like I said, are just ready to roll. So let me make sure that they're not going to start on me right away. But looking at each team, FC Hong Kong, they're the number 3 seed. They came in pretty dominant performance. They were actually listed as a number 2, but they were in a tie with Ill Dancing Queens, and they actually dropped the series to Ill Dancing Queen 2-1. So they actually moved to the 3 seed. After the Pancakes, last I looked, they were like in 4th, and then a couple teams won. They had already finished the series, and so those winners actually got bumped above FF and the Pancakes, so they got down to the 6th seed. But these two teams fought once in the regular season already. They went to a 2-1 series. So it went all the way to game 3. The games were all very close, long games. FC Hong Kong ended up winning that series 2-1. The maps that they chose back then were Infernal Shrines, which was won by Free Hong Kong. Cursed Hollow won by FF and the Pancakes, and then Alternate Pass, which FC Hong Kong won on that one. And we're starting off pretty much the exact same way with an Infernal Shrines map. So let me make sure everybody is ready, and then once we get over to the draft, I'll be ready to go. But yeah, so we're starting off the exact same way, going to Infernal Shrines on game 1 between these two teams. The FC Hong Kong, this is actually my first time getting a chance to stream these guys. I haven't had the chance to stream these guys very much this season. I've been able to watch them, but I haven't been able to stream them. The FF and the Pancakes, I've actually casted twice. They've gone 1-1 on my stream so far that I've been able to cast. And getting a little... Seems like we're going to be a little delayed. Oh, looks like we're now going to be getting into the draft screen really quickly. Actually, they're going to go over right now, so let me switch that over for you guys. We're getting over into the draft screen. Apologies if there's a slight delay. It usually happens with the first. It should go away after the first issue going on, or the first switch over to the draft screen. But yeah, so FF the Pancakes, going back to my thought, they're known, I always talk about as they're known for like their wombo combos. They have these global strategies that they just try to team fight around. And their last time when they went to Cursed Hollow, they went this Illidan across the map, drop Abathur hat on him, and just try and gank and push and create all this map pressure with the Illidan, and it was terrifying to play against if you were the opposing team. So, and then a couple weeks ago, we saw a Grav Bomb Orphea combo that just put out so much damage, and so that is always something that you've got to keep your eye out for on the side of F and the Pancakes. So we'll see if that factors in the draft. But immediately we see a Maiev ban coming out. That is something that F and the Pancakes play well. They are known for their Maiev, so that's a respect ban right off the bat. We see Diablo and ETC getting banned out from the side of FF and the Pancakes. ETC, very good champion. Diablo's gotten a little bit of, keeps getting a little more buffs as the patches go on. He used to be a lower tier tank. He used to be really strong, got to a lower tier tank, and then is getting better. So he's starting to get a little more ban approval. Gazlo getting banned out, and we see first pick going over on FF and the Pancakes to that Johanna. Johanna, I always mention she's never really a bad pick. She is a great early game. She has a great mid game. She has fantastic engage. She has a fantastic peel. She does drop off in the late game. So the later this game goes, the less influential Johanna will be, but she is always enough in that early and mid game that if you use her well, you can snowball a game into your advantage. On the side of the FC Hong Kong, they both start with F, so I might accidentally say FC Hong Kong's FF and the Pancakes, but we see a Gul'dan and Mei coming out. Mei, another very strong champion, especially on this map where you're fighting over those shrines. Mei likes to put down that snowball. She likes to put down the snow field to stun, and then Gul'dan's there for just that follow-up damage as well. Good champion to pick when you're fighting over objectives where wave clear is a priority, because he can wave clear and put out damage at the same time. Kael'thas being picked up on the side of FF and the Pancakes, and Deckard. So Deckard, he's one of those CC heavy intensive supports. He likes to set up a fight before the fight breaks out, so that's something we'll have to see if FF and the Pancakes are a little bit ahead on their rotation so they can use that Deckard utility a little more. And we see Kael'thas coming out on the side of FF and Pancakes as well. Another very strong champion, can put out a lot of burst damage if other teams aren't paying attention to that living bomb. It can spread damage like crazy. So, and again, like the Gul'dan, he's very good at putting out the damage and also clearing out the minions on this wave. So the two mages are two of the stronger mages on this map picked up. Phoenix banned out from the side of FC Hong Kong. Phoenix is something I know FF and the Pancakes do play. He can put a lot of damage down if he has a team that's built around slowing with the Purification Salvo, but he can also put a lot of damage down with that Planet Cracker as well. If he has a team that can lock down, like a York, that can lock him down in a specific direction. We see Stukov and Greymane. So Stukov there kind of being there to, again, help the team peel backwards, set up fights. He's kind of like Deckard, where he likes to be able to get that pool down, that silence pool down, and set up a fight first. So it's really going to be a battle of the supports who can set their team up for a fight better. And then Greymane coming out, a lot of burst damage. So we're seeing a ton of burst damage coming out on FC Hong Kong. They're looking to get in, get a target destroyed as quickly as they can, and then just snowball off of that one kill. Zool and Kira getting picked up. Zool, very strong split push potential. We might see the Zool go into an opposite lane. So if like the objective's top lane, Zool might go into that bottom lane, give up that first objective, and just create a lot of map pressure. Same thing if the objective's in that bot, he may go to that top lane as well. Courtney picking up the Kira. One of her more favorite champions that I've seen come out this season. She does put a lot of damage down on that Kira. She can be a little bit of a force to reckon with. So it's going to be interesting to see how she does on that Kira. It's not as combo-y with the rest of her team as like we saw with like the Gazla and everything, but she can still put a lot of damage down on that Kira. Malthael, last pick coming out for the sides of FC Hong Kong. Malthael is a very good bruiser. He can put pressure on that Zool in that split lane. It's one of the better champions to see go into a Zool personally, so he'll be able to match the pressure that Zool is going to be putting down. I wish I had like the ability to put up polls. I know that you can put up polls in your Twitch chat to see who's rooting. I see a lot of Let's Go Phoenix or FC Hong Kong in the chat right now. So that seems like they've got the crowd support going on. As far as team comps, I always say this, I like both teams comps just because it's fun. It'll be interesting to see which team can do better, execute their comp a little better. But let's get started here. Infernal Shrines, game 1. We've got Cake sitting on that Gul'dan, Nematode on that Greymane, Ronin on the Mei, Tiny Kanotai on the Stukov, and we've got Geo on the Malthael. On FF and the Pancakes, we got Stampy sitting on that Johanna. Or, sorry, Jaeger's on the Johanna. Stampy's on the Zool. Mr. G's on the Kael'thas. X is on the Deckard, and Courtney is sitting on that Kira. Alrighty, so I expect to see Azul eventually go up, rotate up, be in that top lane with the Malthael, dependent upon, he may rotate out depending on where the shrine is, but I don't expect to see a ton of fighting here since it is a 5v4. FC Hong Kong's already committed to sending their top laner up there, so they're probably just going to sit back and poke with the Gul'dan, see if the Gul'dan can start getting stacks. The Gul'dan did go for that Echoed Corruption, so he is looking to get as much stacking in as he possibly can. Johanna did elect to go for the Laws of Hope, so she's going more for a self-sustained build. She wants to be able to get there and know, when she can take a little bit more damage and pop that, instead of going for the Iron Skin level 1. But both teams, looks like FF and the Pancakes are a little ahead on their rotations, just rotate between top and mid. The side of the FC Hong Kong, they're just cleaning it up as well. We won't see a ton. Geo does rotate down on the Malthael, so they do have all 5 mid right now. He did get that top lane pushed out for the Kira. Interesting to note, and I did see this before with FF and the Pancakes, they do run the Zul in the 4-man and let Courtney do the split pushing on the Kira. It is actually pretty effective when they've done it. We've seen that the Zul is able to get the bully. Zul did get a catch on to Geo here. The 4-man is there to support it as well, so Geo's getting caught out. He will more than likely go down, and that is first blood going over to the side of FF and the Pancakes. The FC Hong Kong, they were able to go get their objective camp, so they did get a little bit of value from, not rotating with the 4-man, but this will be cleaned out by FF the Pancakes, easy peasy, and they should be able to start going and getting their camps as well. But it looks like they're elected to maybe get a little more damage onto that Gul'dan. Gul'dan got down to about half health. He should be able to heal himself up with the Stukov, and things will just return to normal. But nice rotation by the side of FF the Pancakes, getting that kill onto the Malthael, and now they're just going to rotate down and try to clear out the bottom. Sammy is getting fairly low. He might be getting caught out here. Mei goes in. Mei does end up killing. The Deckard did get stunned by the Mei root, so X is getting fairly low on the Deckard as well. Gul'dan's taking a couple tower shots, so he gets low, but the Stukov will get him up, and everybody's going to be healthy and ready to go. Johanna did elect to stay mid, get a little bit of soak to try to clear up some of the XP, but we see FC Hong Kong. Now they're getting this bottom camp. They will get the experience, they will get the map pressure, and they will be ahead in camp, so the FF and the Pancakes, they elected to go for the side soak rather than getting some camp pressure with that kill they got onto the Malthael. Courtney was able to provide a little top pressure, so the experience is pretty much even Steven right now. A little bit of map pressure going over to the side of FC Hong Kong at the moment. I'm trying not to say FC and the Pancakes. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle right now, but the FF and the Pancakes, they do eventually get the siege camp. Johanna does go back mid, so they're definitely to do like a 1-1-3 instead of doing like a 4-man back and forth between the mid lane. We do see that this first objective, it will be that Arcane Shrine. It is going to be in the bot lane, so we'll see if Courtney elects to stay top, Zul rotates top, or if they're just going to 5-man and fight over this first objective. And it looks like by the way they're rotating, they are going for the 5-man. No team elected to go do their siege camp in the top lane, so one team's not necessarily going to get the pressure advantage as far as the siege camp go, but already Gul'dan is starting to put down some serious damage on these minions as well as the opposing team, and they are able to start. Courtney does land onto Ronan, goes and spin in. We see Geo getting fairly low. The Stukov Silence is able to zone. So Johanna has to run out. Geo's sitting at about half health right now. The side of SD Hong Kong, they have to back out, get healthy, but Stukov passive coming in strong, healing everybody up. Stampy does go down from the Gul'dan, and that is a kill going over to FC Hong Kong. They are about even, little bit of a lead to FF and the Pancakes as far as minions go, but now FF and the Pancakes are down a member. They look like they're electing to try and stay around, try and pick up a couple with the Kael'thas. I don't know if they're going to be able to. It depends on what Mr. G is able to do here. They look like they want to stay instead of go getting the experience, so we're going to continue to see a little bit of skirmishing going on. X getting stunned out. He's going to go down. Oh, he pops the heal himself, but Nematode is able to kill that kill secure on the Deckard, and now they almost certainly have to give it up and start going to get some experience. It was a good fight by FF and the Pancakes. They looked like they were actually going to win that fight, but then Stukov, the massive healing coming out from Stukov, that burst healing just popped everybody back up to near full health on the side of SC Hong Kong, and they were able to re-engage on FF and the Pancakes, get that kill onto Stampy, and now they're pushing with this Arcane Punisher, one of the stronger early Punishers, so it's going to do some serious damage onto this tower. May end up getting the entire tower since only 3 members of the side of FF and the Pancakes are here. Courtney getting stunned out, having to run away. The tower will go down. They should be able to get this Arcane Punisher before he does any more serious damage on the wall, but early map pressure going over to FC Hong Kong, they're able to get that first Punisher all the way in to get a tower that's going to open up bot lane. They will get these camp pressure, and bot lane's important on this map. That was a really good first Immortal from FC and Hong Kong, because now they have advantage over this bot lane. They especially have advantage over this bottom Merc camp, which is going to allow them a continual pressure on the map that's going to allow them to snowball their experience lead even more. They are electing to now go pick up their siege camp. FF and the Pancakes look like they were sniffing it out, but they're electing to go back, just try and get up to 10. The next thing, priority for FF and the Pancakes, they had a bad fight. They lost the first objective. It's not over. Regroup, get your experience up, get on even talent tiers at level 10, and pick the fight over the next objective if that's going to be your team strategy. Level 10, they do come online. We'll see what this Kael'thas elects to pick at level 10, if he's going to go for the Pyroblast, that massive burst damage, or if he's going to go more for the Phoenix with that, just try and push him off the objective, do some AoE, which does push well with the Immortal. Unstoppable Popeye Geo, he will get away without being scathed, and now level 10 is on the side of FC Hong Kong. We will see ultimates coming out. May going with that Avalanche. Gul'dan going with the Horrify. Good move. The shove coming out of Stukov instead of the flailing swipes. Last rites from the Mouthdale. Pretty standard, and Curse Bullet. Pretty standard ultimates from everybody except for the push from Stukov. I don't necessarily disagree with it. It's a good ultimate if you can land it on the appropriate target. So again, it's more of a skill play coming out of the Stukov than more of a just, I want to knock everybody back. I want to get this person specifically isolated, which if they do it with those counter engages that they did in the previous fight, they should be looking pretty good if he gets that right target pushed out of the way. Courtney is still getting some pretty good pressure. She's got this entire wall down in the top lane, so pressure is getting put on that top lane, which is where we're going to see that next objective. If she can continue to get that pressure and get that health fountain down, she will be able to get more pressure for her team in that top lane, and also not allow the side of SC to kind of heal up as well. Right now, we're just seeing a small little siege on the side of FC Hong Kong. They're trying to get some damage, trying to get that health fountain down, get chunked down by the Kael'thas to about half HP, but they are doing a good job of keeping Shred apart from that living bomb, so they aren't able to get killed. I did miss in that top lane while we were talking about this and going on the siege. Mouthdale did get the solo kill on Courtney. Courtney did eventually go down in that top lane, so Mouthdale getting a stack of that last rites onto the Kira, getting some more pressure, and ultimately keeping Kira off the map for about 20 seconds. He's at about half health here right now. Zul is coming up. He will be able to land the root onto it. Deckard is there for the follow-up, but this damage isn't enough. That Mouthdale should just be able to... Oh, Kael'thas is rotating in. He does get the living bomb, knocks him up, and the damage coming down. Mouthdale is tanking a lot, but he wasn't able to do enough. Kael'thas does put down the Phoenix, elected to go for that Phoenix ult, but it looks like May is looking for some. She could land a great snowball here. 3-man snowball possibility. She only lands it on one, the Johanna. The continued engage from the side of FF and the Pancakes. They saw the one snowball. Stampy does get low. He goes down. The Gul'dan gets traded out as well. Jaeger is getting half health, having to run away on that Johanna. Nematode barely getting away on that Greymane. Good fight for FF and the Pancakes. I thought with the May getting in that position, she could have potentially gotten that 3-man snowball, and that would have been devastating. Unfortunately, just enough time went by that she was only able to get one. FF and the Pancakes were able to spread out enough that they could get away from that May snowball, and she was only able to get the Johanna in it. So FF and the Pancakes were able to continue to press. They will have advantage on this top lane. It looks like the side of FC Hong Kong, well, now they seem to be rotating up. It looked like they were originally just going to give the Immortal up and go get level 13, soak up level 13, but they're almost on level 13 talent here, so they may be just trying to get 13 and then recreate the pressure. They just hit 13. 13 isn't the worst to fight down in a 5v5 situation. FF and the Pancakes could elect to go for a fight here, but they're letting Stukov set up, which is a little bit frightening, because if Stukov's set up, I don't see them winning this fight. Deckard putting the root down on the May popping the Unstoppable in that, healing herself up. Push going down onto the Zul. He's getting way out of that fight. Kael'thas putting down some serious damage. The Stukov does go down. Jaeger's got about a quarter HP, but like I said, Johanna's able to take a lot of damage. This May is getting crowd controlled all the way to Sunday and going down. That is 2 kills going over to FF and Pancakes, picking good fights down that talent tier, getting those good isolation targets. Mr. G getting down to about half health. He wants to stay healthy because he's the one thing that's going to help the team catch up. Courtney putting some serious damage on that Gul'dan. I think the Gul'dan will be healthy. No, the burst does come through, and that is a kill onto the Gul'dan. 3 kills for FF and the Pancakes, and they look like they will be picking up this Immortal, and they will be pushing, creating some of that pressure top. FC Hong Kong did elect to go down, get the siege camp, try and get some experience, and to be able to push that. I like the play. I think think it's smart. They're getting the experience before F and the Pancakes get the tower and come get it themselves. So they are securing that for themselves. It will create a little bit of pressure. Nemoto getting stunned out here, getting down to about quarter health. The rule does have him rooted. He's getting low. Nice push by the Stukov. Courtney goes in on that Kira, knocks the Stukov back. Stukov wasn't able to pop the unstoppable in time, but he is able to heal himself up. This Immortal is still sitting at about half health, so he's going to be able to continue to push. This could create some keep wall pressure. I don't believe it's going to get the keep unless they get a good fight over it. This should just hop right over the wall, get destroyed by the remaining keep pressure, but this should be walls going down. After the Pancakes, they do burn down that wall fairly quickly. Phoenix goes down from the kill toss. It is zoning people off. That Stukov is at about half HP, and Rodin getting zoned off as well. The keep will, or the Immortal will go down to the keep, but that's some pretty good keep pressure by the side of FF and the Pancakes. They were able to create a lot of map pressure with that. They have the lane pushing mid lane, so they could go mid lane and use that minion wave to continue to pushing, but good opening, good counter and answer from the side of FF and the Pancakes after losing that first Immortal to get the second Immortal and create more map pressure with that second Immortal. It'll create a little bit of pressure for potentially the next Immortal, which should go mid or bot. But they won't get any of these Merc Camp pressures that they're looking for. So the Merc Camp pressure is still going to favor side of FC Hong Kong. They're still about a half level lead up, so they would be able to continue to get that experience lead, get on that advantage for the talent tier. The FF and the Pancakes, they just need to do the same play. Wait for even talent tiers. Once they're on even talent tiers, fight over the objective, fight just as cleanly as they did the last fight, and this next Immortal could push this all the way to another keep, potentially. It is going to be over the bot lane. It's that frozen Punisher, so it will turn keeps off, which later in the game is a little more devastating. Looks like FF and the Pancakes are sniffing out a fight here. Gul'dan pops down the fear early. Jaeger and Courtney looking for a fight, but they're going to have to back up on that Johanna and Kira. There's just, the fight wasn't there. The Deckard wasn't able to catch anybody with that Lornado, and so both teams get a little bit of ultimates. It looked like an ultimate burned on the Deckard and the Gul'dan. Everybody else kept it up. They kind of stared at each other and then just went back to doing their regular scheduled program. FF and the Pancakes, they're going to go up. They're going to go get this top Merc Camp and create a little bit of pressure. If they hold it, they could get even more pressure, but I don't think they're going to hold it. I think they're just going to capture it. Yep, they do capture it. If they had held it with the Shrine being bot lane, they could have potentially used it to push when the Shrine became active. As long as they just held it and, you know, made sure that nobody on the side of FC Hong Kong came and scouted it out. But they like to pick it up. They want the experience to keep that experience gap a little bit close so they can be on even talent tiers for this next fight. The Gul'dan, he's still only at 19 of 40 stacks for the Echoed Corruption. So the Echoed Corruption, the Corruption build, isn't going to be doing as much damage until he gets that entire pass, that first level 1 quest finished. Once he gets that, he's going to have the Corruption coming back. He could put down some serious burst damage onto any target, and he's also going to get 3 extra shots for camp clearing when it comes to doing the Immortal. So the Gul'dan is still looking like he's trying to get stacked up. As he can get another good stacking pressure on some of these fights, like in this situation with these small little skirmishes, then he should be able to get up into that level 40 or 40 quest stack range, and then he'll be able to put out a lot more burst damage onto single targets, potentially the whole team if the whole team's not paying attention to the Corruption coming back. So, but here we go. We've got Frozen Punisher Shrine coming up in 20 seconds. All Merc Camps are taken, so each team is just going to kind of get that set up. The FC Hong Kong, they've got advantage on the positioning right now. May getting that zoning potential. Gul'dan going to get rooted out here. Stampy getting down to about half HP. He should be able to get away. Double root coming over from the Deckard. Use the Lornado more as a disengage, trying to get the rest of his team healed back up. So FC Hong Kong do have priority as far as positioning. They do start the camp. They are trying to create the pressure as fast as they can, because the longer they wait, the more pressure is going to be in that top lane by FF and the Pancakes. FF coming in. They get it onto the Stukov. The root goes down to the Stukov. Massive damage coming out of the Zool. 3-man Avalanche may save them from a full team wipe, but this is going to be massive kills going over to FF and the Pancakes. They do try to get that counter engage onto the Jaeger. They do get the kill. At what cost? Will Greymane go down and trade his life for that kill? Looks like that Kira ultimate just got both of them, and that is a full man ace on the side of F and the Pancakes. They were able to get that Zool coming in huge in that fight, able to get the root onto the Stukov right in the front, being like, guys, I want him dead, and then putting out that Nova and just melting the entire side of FC Hong Kong. That Zool, MVP of that fight for sure. That was massive. And now we're going to see, this is definitely going to go over to FF and the Pancakes. They are going to be picking up this second Immortal. Zool's going top to create some pressure. See if he can get, you know, a little more pressure onto this keep while the 4-man is going to push that bottom lane. I like what the Zool is doing. A side of FC have to respond to that. So this is going to be an easy tower pickup for the side of FF and the Pancakes. Zool will be able to eventually rotate down. down, but he just may rotate between that mid and top lane and keep that pressure. It does look like the Zul's coming down, and why not when he is doing so much damage with that ultimate in these team fights. This Frozen Punisher, it hasn't jumped over the wall because nobody's there to help him jump over. Now he jumps over, and he should start turning off some of these towers and the keep. Kira electing to go in, pick a fight. She does pop the Unstoppable because she got in a little too deep. The Fear does hit, and Courtney getting fairly low does get herself away. Nicely done. The tower is now turned off. The Punisher's only about a quarter HP. Phoenix goes off, 3-man stun by the Punisher. Zul popping off the ultimate. Doesn't hit as many people, but the Malthael getting fairly low. Malthael does go down. We do see Ronin getting caught out on the Mei. He should be okay as long as Nematode and Ronin are able to get away on the Grey Mane and Mei. Nice push by the Stukov, hitting that Zul all the way back. That is what they're using as their main source of engage, but the Stukov looks like he may end up trading his life for that push. Lornado going in huge, knocking out Nematode and Ronin. Oh my gosh, the Deckard play, getting the Lornado, and this is going to continue to be a good fight. Snappy getting low. The Gul'dan is alive, so the Gul'dan will be able to put some damage out, and he is almost at that 40 stack where he will get even more damage. But that Lornado by the Deckard Cain just causing the snowball to continue. I love it. I love what I'm seeing outside of the FF and the Pancakes in this game one. Coming in as a little bit of the underdogs, but they're showing their team fighting chemistry, which we've talked about every time with FF and the Pancakes. Their team fighting is crisp. They are able to create this pressure. Stampy getting fairly low. He's going to need to back up a little bit. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get this keep. The sides of FC Hong Kong, they look like they may be able to defend it as long as Gul'dan does not get stunned out here, and they do. They end up defending this. Kira does land onto the Mei, but she eventually does go back. Deckard getting feared out here underneath the keep. He is able to keep himself alive, but the snowball coming in underneath the keep. This is going to be massive damage. Great snowball by the Mei. Unfortunately, all those Deckard potions were set up from the initial siege, so they just ran over those potions and healed themselves back up. Oh, that was fantastic avalanche by the Mei. The damage just wasn't respawned yet at this time. We do see that this tower may go down to minions from the side of FC Hong Kong. But the F and the Pancakes looks like they're trying to just bait a trap here. They elect to eventually start at the camp, which is, I agree, is the smart move. Keep the FC Hong Kong, keep their experience at a minimum, go get their camps, try and go pick a fight over this top siege camp. Looks like they're going to go... They're deciding what they're doing. I think they should go for yep, and it looks like that's what they're doing. They're coming over. They're going to take over this aggressive siege camp by the side of FC Hong Kong since they're not on 20 talent tiers. Important thing to note, Gul'dan did finish his quest, so he is going to get more damage coming out of that corruption now, a lot more damage coming out of that corruption now. So we should see the Gul'dan starting to be able to pump out some serious damage in some of these team fights. Maybe that burst that they were missing initially is going to come up, but you'll see a lot of damage over time coming out of that Gul'dan, and his damage will start to ramp up significantly. 20s are still a little bit of ways away. They elected to go, FF and the Pancakes, they're electing to just start pushing this bot lane, which is good. They have pressure in this top lane, and all 5 members of FC Hong Kong responded to this. They could just, once they see that, they could just push in and get a lot of damage down onto this keep. FC Hong Kong, they're not going to be able to come down and answer this, and this is going to be bottom keep going over to FF and the Pancakes. That is huge. That is going to keep this pressure bot lane when the next shrine is coming up in that top lane, and it is going to be that Mortar Shrine. So now FF and the Pancakes, they have bot pressure. Are they going to pick up these 2 camps before they go for that top? It doesn't look like it. It looks like they're just going to be comfortable giving the camps up, so that may give the side of FC Hong Kong a way to get close that experience gap. Go grab a camp real quick, get your 20s and go fight. And FF and the Pancakes, they're just looking to get this camp done as much as you can. It's not necessarily game ending if FC Hong Kong know how to move the Immortal from that mid keep to, or from that top keep to the middle keep, but if they don't, or they get a bad jump, then it could be game over. They do have game-ending potential in this top lane for FF and the Pancakes. 20s are online for both teams now, so now it's going to come down to a fight over this top Immortal Shrine. FF and the Pancakes backing off. They realize 20 are there. They know that they have bottom lane pressure. That bottom lane is going to need to get addressed by the side of FC Hong Kong if they're not able to clear fast. Jaeger just trying to keep map pressure in this top lane while bottom lane continues to ramp up. Only at 12 stacks on the side of FC Hong Kong. They got plenty of time. Looks like Ronin's looking for an engage on that Mei, but doesn't find it. Each team just kind of poking back and forth. FM the Pancakes being passed at FC Hong Kong, trying to get as many of these minions as they possibly can. Now we're at 20, so both teams may start getting a little more aggressive. Johanna going in, landing a 2-man condemn. Fear going out. Johanna getting fairly low. Blast rates go down, but it pops the passive, the unstoppable passive. If Deckard can heal her back up, that's going to be huge. Nice by the Kira, the damage. 3-man avalanche. The Zul going in, putting out massive damage again. Oh, this damage from Zul. Can Stukov heal it up is the question. Stukov are all low, but they're not dead yet. yet. 1 going down, 2 going down. This nematode does eventually go down. 4 kills on the side of... Oh, looks like it's just 3. The Stukov was able to pop it onto himself, so the Stukov did keep himself alive. My apologies. The 4th one was over onto Zool. Zool and Johanna did go down, so that's 2 good pickup kills for FC Hong Kong. Both damage dealers are alive, but no tanks are alive. So with the Malthael and May being alive, Malthael can put down some damage. They can counter-engage off this Immortal, make the Immortal jump, and if they can get to the damage dealers in the back and pick off one with the Malthael May combo, they may be able to defend this. Depends on how they're going to elect to pick the fight. Also, after the Pancakes, they realize they're not without a tank. They're using the Immortal as their tank, so they may just keep their damage back. But Courtney does go in. She elects to go in onto the Ronin, get him down to about quarter HP, but she is taking keep shots here. If the keep does not go down, she's going to get down to about quarter HP. The Immortal does go down, but besides after the Pancakes, just because they don't have all 5 here, they're going to have to leave. They're going to give this Immortal up, and the Immortal will get some damage done onto the core. May get probably about 20%, 10%, depending on how fast the damage is coming back up on the side of FC Hong Kong, so they may end up keeping that Immortal from doing any serious core damage. It looks like the shield is just going to end up being what's taken out there, but FF and the Pancakes, they elect to go ahead and go start catching some mercenary camps, creating that pressure. Unfortunately, that fight broke out just a little soon. They didn't have enough built-up pressure in that bottom lane, that the bottom lane wasn't able to provide enough siege potential on the side of FF and the Pancakes, but now they can go clean the map, paint it red, get that pressure going down, and get ready to fight up over that next objective. Important to note, they do have siege potential in that top and that bottom lane, so map pressure is definitely in their advantage. The Immortal is coming up in mid lane for them, so they have both lanes are going to have to get addressed by FC Hong Kong, while the side of F and the Pancakes can just continue to map control this game and slow boat this game to possibly a game 1 victory. They're electing to go get their siege camp first instead of the opponent's siege camp, but it doesn't look like the side of FC Hong Kong want to go get their camp. They're just electing to go up, rotate as 5, stay as a team so that nobody gets picked off in a bad fight. It's a smart idea. It could have been you sent 1 bot lane and have 4-man go get this to keep the FM and the Pancakes from getting it, but ultimately this siege camp, since it's coming down before the shrine gets picked up, FC Hong Kong will have no problem just clearing out the minion wave. This camp is just going to be experience, which this late in the game, experience isn't as big a deal. Everybody's on the same talent here. It's just going to matter for a little bit of health as far as team goes. But this mid lane is getting pressure. This mid tower will go down, maybe? Eventually? Possibly? All right, Stampy's going to go over and make sure it does happen. Nobody from FC Hong Kong was rotating over anyway. They're still finishing out that top lane, so that mid tower will go down, and that's going to open up a little bit more map pressure. Important to note, that is going to prevent defense from the side of FC Hong Kong, so they are going to have map pressure all the way up to this keep, which gets more map zoning pressure for the side of FF and the Pancakes. And it looks like they're just like, all right, we know where our winning objective is. It's going to be this next Immortal fight. We have to win over that fight. Let's just set up. Let's get all of our 3 of our maps, our lanes pushing, get Decker to start putting some potions down over that mid objective. And then once that Mortal Shrine fight breaks out, we'll be in setup. Now we will have the advantage. We'll have the positioning that we want before this fight, and we will just take the fight, you know, and get the Immortal. So each team's just going to kind of go back and forth here, be a little bit passive, waiting for this next Immortal to pop. I don't see FF and the Pancakes really wanting to siege this mid lane. They have no reason to. If this scout camp does come back up, they could go get that, but the shrine's coming up now in 30 seconds. They do elect to go get, you know, keep their lanes pushing. Side of FC Hong Kong, they're pushing out that mid lane, so it's really going to come down to who can execute the fight better. FC Hong Kong, if that May can get in, the May's been landing great. She's been, these last couple of fights, they've been landing 3-man snowballs. Unfortunately, the snowballs have been to disengage because the team is getting collapsed on by that Zool damage, so the May's like having to snowball to keep her team alive. If the May can get the snowball first before the Zool has the chance to engage, this could be a massive win by the side of SC Hong Kong if they're able to get that fight. It comes down to if that May can do it. The Gul'dan Horrify, if he saves it for that Zool to keep the Zool from coming in and letting his May set up the fight, that's how FC Hong Kong's going to get back in this fight. The Stukov has been doing his job keeping people alive and creating that zoning potential. May looking for the potentially that fight, getting the zone go down. Gul'dan uses the fear. Johanna getting fairly low here. The Zool did get caught out. He wasn't able to pop off his ultimate, and the Zool does go down. That's a huge kill on the side of FC Hong Kong. The Gul'dan landing a great Horrify to keep Deckard away and not allow him to create any of that crowd control and CC. And this is going to be an Immortal going over to FC Hong Kong. But look, we've got siege potential going on both lanes. That should get cleaned up. That may not get cleaned up, but the siege minions, since they're so low, they may start shooting at that keep instead of the core. So the core pressure isn't necessarily there yet. Good move by FF and the Pancakes. They know they're not going to win this next Immortal. Malthael does come back, so they're going to elect to just get that Merc camp, see if it can create a little bit of pressure, and 4-man defend. Zool will be up in 25 seconds. This tower's gone. The main thing they have to make sure that they don't do in this fight is don't die before Zool gets alive. Pop this Immortal over. Use Jaeger to do it, since Jaeger can just pop the Unstoppable easily. Burn as much as they can, but don't pick a fight, because you're going to see SC Hong Kong trying to burst through the wall as quick as they can. They didn't burn down this top wall. They're looking to just get some tower damage. So SC Hong Kong, they're getting the entire front fort, but the Immortal is getting down to about half health. Zool is here. Malthael is riding in, so they're looking like they may pick to have a 5v5. 4-man stun by the Immortal, going down. The Courtney, it looks like, is getting fairly low. Nope, sorry, that is the Zool. The Zool, again, getting fairly low. Pops the Unstoppable. Last rights go down. Zool does end up going down here. You're getting fairly low. Courtney putting down some serious damage, but Stukov can just heal them back up. This could be the fight that FC Hong Kong are looking for. They look like they're electing to go back. The Immortal just wasn't healthy enough. They did get, again, that kill onto the Zool, so it looks like they figured it out. Hey, that Zool's coming in. He's putting down massive amounts of damage. We need to handle that Zool, and they're killing him before he can even get that ultimate off. Great crowd control by the Gul'dan and the Mei to make sure that that Zool is not coming in and doing what he has been doing, those fights where it just snowballed FF and the Pancakes' favor. So keep going down mid lane. That's going to allow FC Hong Kong to now have pressure in the mid lane, since there is no keep to respond to. So each team's got two. It's going to be dicey here. Each team's probably going to elect to do the same thing. We've got the next fight going over this top shrine. It is going to be the Arcane Shrine, so that Arcane Punisher is going to be putting out some serious damage. That'll more than likely be the penultimate fight to end this game, but right now we're going to see pretty much a wash, rinse, repeat of that last 3 minutes that we just saw. Both teams just going to stay on their side of the map, not look to fight, clear out minions, try to grab Merc camps just to get that little XP lead. You know, at this point, it's game 1 of the playoffs. Both teams got, you know, those game jitters were like, I don't want to throw. I want to be able to get this, pick the fight. I want to win this game for my team. So they're just looking for that fight. Mei looking like they're, FC Hong Kong look like they're being the aggressors here. Ronan going in. Johanna did catch him out. So Johanna pops the Unstoppable, starts running away. That Unstoppable is going to end. Mei might get the catch onto the Johanna here. Half health from the Grey Mane Curse Bullet. Nice Lornado by the Deckard Cain, keeping his team alive. Mei knocks the other 2 away. Fantastic. I think Deckard Cain just saved Jaeger's life there. Jaeger did not have the Johanna passive up yet. Let's see. No, he didn't have the Johanna passive up yet, so he may have just saved that Johanna's life. 19 seconds and that passive should be up. Courtney looking like she's going to go on Neemto. Nice Unstoppable pops to the Courtney. Doesn't get the stun. The Zool does get some damage. Pops the ult, but it gets interrupted, so it doesn't go off. Jaeger getting down to quarter health, but the Zool still has his ultimate coming up in 1 second. If it's not interrupted this time, he could get it down. Jaeger getting down to about quarter HP. Here, oh, the damage getting the snipe on Grey Mane. Here comes the Poison Nova by Zool, getting each team member down to about half health. Stukov putting some damage up, but Courtney putting down some massive damage. She's not done. She's looking for more. Jaeger riding up. Oh, nice push by Stukov. He's going to sacrifice himself for that push, but ultimately it does keep the Jaeger from getting a bigger engage. Actually, he might get away here. The Mei is getting the root from the Zool, does pop the passive to heal. Gul'dan is there, it's stuck in a corridor. Gul'dan could get some damage out. Malthael does go down. Lornado catching the Mei. The passive goes out. Oh my goodness. The Lornados, these last 3 Lornados, and the one we saw earlier in the bot lane, big plays coming out from the Deckard player, catching these people out. That's 2 members dead on the side of FC Hong Kong. That's for sure going to give this top shrine over to FF and the Pancakes. They have all 5 members alive. They will have their ultimates up by the time that this Immortal is active, and they look like they are going to push this all the way to the core for a potential end to game 1. Look at this pressure they have bottom lane already. I mean, it will get answered by the Malthael, but that bot lane pressure, Zool's answering the mid lane pressure just to make sure that, you know, no core damage goes over to their own core while the rest of his team picks up this top shrine. But the plays coming out from this Deckard Cain, these last 2 team fights, have just been fantastic. You know, the Zool hasn't been able to, unfortunately, get his Poison Novas off. He got it late this one, but the Deckard Cain Lornados have just been on point. this should be the Shrine coming over in the next few seconds, but looks like FC Hong Kong, they know that the game would end if they didn't push the Punisher, so they're going to try and backdoor this and end the game here. It's getting down to about quarter HP. If sides of FF Pancakes though back fast enough, this could be the entire core. The FF Pancakes now coming in, the core is about 53% HP. It's the last Lacerot, Johanna landing with 3-man Blessed Shield. Nematode, the Greymane needs to be the focus. The Greymane is not getting killed. If he puts down more damage, 11, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2%, 1%, that is it! Oh my gosh, they did it! 1%! And the back door from FC Hong Kong is huge! Whoa, game one. Wow, if this is just a preview of what the rest of this series is going to be like, this is going to be insane. Fantastic call by FC Hong Kong. They realized once the Immortal was taken, that was game over. So they were like, we just got to push mid. We got to try something here. And it worked to 1%. The Greymane didn't get focused in that fight. And so since the Greymane didn't get focused, he was able to put out all the damage. And eventually the Greymane was able to finish off that last shot as he was dying to end the core and give game one over to FC Hong Kong. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to let my heart rate settle down. Look at these stats for a second. Let me get this stat screen out. I was so excited about that. I forgot to get the stat screen all the way up. Stats coming out. Game one. Wow. Gul'dan. The Gul'dan damage turned on. And I think that's an important thing to note for those later game team fights. The Gul'dan E build, being able to finish that quest allowed him to get that damage pumped out. Now look at the damage, 96,000. He eventually started pumping out that damage, which turned those fights around for SC Hong Kong's. The fights they were losing, he wasn't able to put out the damage. FF and Pancakes were doing it. Once he got that 40, they started getting that fights. They started winning the team fights. They pushed the map, and Gul'dan coming out with that massive damage. Mr. G putting out significant damage on that Kael'thas as well. Stampy putting out 70k on that Zul. The Zul Poison Novas were massive. It can't be understated, and that's going to be something huge to look at in this game too for this pick ban phase. Do you want to give Stampy that Zul again? That Zul was terrifying in that game. Whew. All right. I have no idea where we're going to go for the next game. Let me get the game updated. So the game was picked by FC Hong Kong, and they did win that. So let's get over to the map overview real quick. So FC Hong Kong taking game one. And I'm seeing if I have any indication on where we're going to go for game two. I don't have it yet, but we'll just continue to wait around a second and talk a little bit more about that first game. So, I mean, FF and the Pancakes, they had a strategy. They were executing it perfectly. The Kira was getting snipe kill after snipe kill. I think she landed like a 2-man snipe kill at one point on one of those last fights. I think they just had a little bit of a sloppy fight over the prior Immortal, where they got the Immortal, but they just weren't able to push with it enough that they weren't able to win with it. And that ended up sending the game into the next Immortal fight, which went over. Sorry, that was 2 Immortals ago, because then the next Immortal went over to FC Hong Kong. They pushed all the way mid, and then the top Immortal fight went over to FF and the Pancakes, but FC backdoored and were able to get that core all the way down. I have no idea where we're going to go for game number 2. We got Alteric Pass, Braxis Holdout, Cursed Hollow, Towers of Doom, Volskaya Foundry. So important to note, game 1 of their last series, they did do it on Infernal Shrines. FC Hong Kong did win game 1 of their last head-to-head. Game 2 went over, Choice went over to FF and the Pancakes, and they went to Cursed Hollow. And so we'll see if they elect to go to Cursed Hollow again. Oh, I got the game invite. 1 second. We're gonna go to Alteric Pass. So Alteric Pass, which was where Game 3 went in their last series. They went to Game 3, and it went to the FC Hong Kong did pick Alteric Pass, and they won it as well. So I'm seeing, looks like free FC Hong Kong. FC Hong Kong did pick the map. So first pick, FF the Pancakes elected to go with first pick on this map. So let me get that updated for you guys real quick. Giving map priority over to FC Hong Kong, and FC Hong Kong elected to pick Alteric Pass, which is what they played FF the Pancakes last time, and they won on this map as well. It was a very close game. So it could easily go, and we see FF the Pancakes. They've brought their A game. They're in this to win this kind of deal. They're not messing anything around. But I'm sorry, you guys can't see the chat right now. But both teams are just there. You can tell both teams are just enjoying this series. Like that first game went, and everybody else at home should have enjoyed that as well. That was a fantastic opening to potentially a 3-game series here. But um, we're gonna see if that Zool was doing so much work. I expect that Zool to get banned out here in this second game. You cannot let Stampy have that Zool second game. As far as other bans go, I mean, the Decker did massive work. There aren't as many corridors to land that Lornado on this map, so we may not see the Deckard coming out on this map, so it may not be a ban priority. The Kira and Kael'thas, maybe they could handle against, since they were putting out the damage, but it seemed like they were able to turn fights around for that, so it may not be a priority. But the Zool, I think, is definitely going to be a priority. Every team, looks like teams are looking to get ready in the chat. And it looks like we're going to get game 2 underway here. Alteric Pass. Alrighty, as far as ban adjustments against FC Hong Kong, I mean, the Mei was putting in she was landing some great avalanches, so that may be a ban priority on the Mei. The Stukov was able to save people's lives when it was all looking like for naught, especially in that top. I thought that one of those last fights where the Stukov somehow got away with like no HP. It was a 5v4. FF and Pancakes were chasing him down, and the Stukov healed everybody back up, and they didn't lose anybody. I was like, wow, this Stukov is coming in big. So we may see a Stukov ban. Diablo, the first ban coming out. We're going to see another Diablo ban. Maev getting banned out again. Okay, so both teams just starting the ban phase the exact same way. Let me look in chat real quick. See if I missed anything in chat while that game. I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of just massive there's a lot of base race stuff going on at the end, but not seeing anything too much. FF and the Pancakes played that so well too. I agree. They played that game so well. It's just FC, they saw an opportunity and they took it. ETC coming out for FF and the Pancakes. So another ETC ban. So ban staying the same on FF and the Pancakes. Kira getting banned out instead of the Zool. Okay, so Kira getting banned out by the side of the FC Hong Kong. So first pick is going over. Now what do you pick? Do you take the Zool? Nope. They go for the Gazlo. So the Gazlo was banned game 1 as that second ban. They elected to ban the Kira, and I believe that's going to be Stampy on the Gazlo. It could be X2. I think I've seen X on Gazlo as well. They're like, yes, please. We know FF and the Pancakes can play a mean Gazlo. We know they love the Wombo combo with the Gazlo. I'm excited that Gazlo got in here. So we're going to see Gazlo game number 2. Johanna and Li Ming being picked up by FC Hong Kong. Both strong picks on this map. We talked about Johanna already. Li Ming, she's able to poke people off the objective, long range, safely, to lay that objective being built up. She can put down the burst damage on whoever Johanna wants to call it with the Blessed Shield, and she is able to do just pretty much anything. And she can poke safely from her own base if the objective's on the right side of the map for Li Ming. So she can sit in her own base and poke them off the objective uninterrupted. Like there's no way you can get to her. Zeratul Malfurion coming out for FF and the Pancakes. They do great Zeratul games. You can see the combo setting up. They're going for a combo this game, Wombo combo. Zeratul Gazlo, Void Prism leading off into the Grav Bomb from the Gazlo. Malfurion there to land the root in the Void, put the root down in the Void Prism as well. In addition, I don't know if he's going to go the Silence of the Heal. I anticipate he's probably going to go the Silence, but that's yet to be determined. So bans coming out, Tassadar ban, that is something that they do run into that Wombo combo, but the Orphea is something they also run into that Wombo combo, and we do not see an Orphea ban, and we already see the Mage being picked up by SC Hong Kong, so this could be Orphea going over to FF and the Pancakes, which they really, really love with this composition. The Gazlo, Orphea, Zeratul, Wombo combo from another dimension. Deckard getting picked up, so they're like, you know what, we like the Deckard, we liked what you did with it last game. This is going to be more of a stay a while and listen map than the Lornado, but Deckard's going to give them that ability to set up around the objective. And Cassia, great synergy with Johanna. Johanna can put out a lot more blinds. Cassia can do a lot more damage. It's just a win-win. It's a smart choice here from the side of FC Hong Kong. So I like the comp that they have coming out. It's going to be good in response to this comp. We're gonna probably I'm banking on seeing the Orphea come out here. I mean, it's got to be Orphea. Oh, it's not. It's going to be Kael'thas. Is that going to be Courtney on the Kael'thas? Because I know Zeratul going to go over to... I think Zeratul stays on Stampy. I think Stampy plays Zeratul. X is going to play the Gazlo. So I guess Courtney's going to be playing the Kael'thas instead of the Orphea. Jaeger will be playing the Muradin. They can roll swap on the sides of F and the Pancakes. So we'll see where they all end up with those picks. But Thrall getting picked up here by the side of FC Hong Kong to round out their composition. Thrall being able to put down that extra damage, will be able to battle with Gazlo, being able to put down either the Earthcracker or the slow. So we'll see which one is going to come out here. But looks like Mr. G is going to be on that Kael'thas, and Courtney's going to be on the Malfurion. So Courtney's going to be healing this game. Alrighty. Game number 2. Woo! Alrighty. Looks like... I mean, I like both comps. I like what FF and the Pancakes have done here. I don't know if they've done it with this. I know X plays the Gazlo. I know Sampy plays the Zeratul. And so it'll see. I knew Mr. G was putting out tons of damage on the Kael'thas, so maybe this is just the way they're electing to go with this game one. But yeah, FC Hong Kong, I just love that. That's just a solid team comp. Deckard, Li Ming, Cassia, Johanna, and Thrall. That's just terrifying to go up against. But let's get into game 2. We've got Ronin on the side of FC. We got Ronin on the Johanna, Geo sitting on the Thrall, Nematode sitting on the Cassia, Cake sitting on the Li Ming, and Tiny No Tai on the Deckard. FF and the Pancakes, we've got X on the Gazlo, Courtney on the Malfurion, Mr. G on the Kael'thas, Jaeger sitting on that Muradin, and Stampy on that Zeratul. All right, game number 2 might be a little more skirmishing in this mid fight. The Muradin's going to look to get stacked, the Thrall's going to look to get stacked, so we may see a little bit of skirmishing back and forth. Gonna see the Zeratul probably is gonna rotate between lanes trying to set up ganks. The FM Pancakes, their goal is just not to fall too far behind the first objective. They have a weaker comp to fight over that first objective, so they're not gonna necessarily look to get it. They may look to delay it, or just give it up outright and create pressure on the other side of the map. But I don't think they're going to be able to get that first objective with this team comp right now, because they're looking more for picks. But once level 10 comes online, as long as they're not too far behind, their level 10s are going to be terrifying. That combo is going to be terrifying to deal with. We're going to see these offlaners in the top lane. Gazlo is going to be able to put down some pressure. Thrall should be able to handle this fairly well. As long as he doesn't get ganked by the Zeratul and get chunked down, he should be able to just farm it out under his tower and be safe. We see F and the Pancakes are already going to go over. They're going to start picking up this camp on their side, getting a little pressure. Cassie is already on the other side. She's got Deckard potions set up for her to get it on the other to keep herself healthy while she's getting this camp cleared. We do see the Deckard rotating. He's going to go help the Thrall. Just give him a couple potions to keep him give him a little more survivability in that lane, that matchup, because Gazlo will put down some aggressive pressure early on, and Thrall is going to spend a bunch of mana to clear the wave, so he needs to stay a little healthy. But we do see each team picking up their camps. F and the Pancakes picked it up a little earlier. Cassie is still trying to solo out this camp, does get it finished off. She is a little unhealthy. She can tap and heal back up. This minion may get a little bit of siege pressure mid, but not too terribly much. Muradin and Johanna, this is going to be even probably more of a boring fight than the offlaners in the top lane. Muradin's just going to look to hit her with his hammer every once in a while, and that's about all he can do in that bot lane. It's really going to this Zeratul trying to set up ganks, and then this Kael'thas should be able to just clear out this wave mid lane. So it looks like each team is, the FM Pancakes are looking to get something with the Zeratul. Zeratul does see Deckard out here. Is he going to try to get some kill? Nope. He's going to go in. He gets a little damage onto Cake and then just goes to help his team clear these minions, keep the pressure. But Li Ming you know, understated, I don't think I mentioned it, she does have great siege potential as well. You know, can safely poke from range with her Q and her W and, you know, assist the minions in pushing. So they were able to get most of this wall, front tower. You know, that tower should go down to the Deckard root, and 2 members get rooted as well. And so that was a pretty good siege, you know, compared to the other side where most of the walls remained intact from the minions. And so that's something to keep in mind with the Li Ming. She is able to get some siege, and this is going to be the side that Li Ming wants it to be on for this first one, just in case she does have to poke them off of it. Like I said, I don't expect FF and the Pancakes to necessarily contest it unless they're able to get a pick. So maybe Li Ming wanted the first one to be on the bottom and the second one where their 10s are online to be on the top one. But it's still favorable position for that Li Ming. FF and the Pancakes are over here. They're going to be picking up their mercenary camp safely. And, you know, the one thing to make note of is this mercenary camp respawns very quickly, so it is a very good source of XP on this map and map pressure as well. Thrall is already able to finish his Echo of Elements stack and quest, so he's going to be able to put out a little bit more damage as far as that goes. And it looks like that side of F and the Pancakes are looking to possibly come up and create some top lane pressure. Again, they're looking to create pressure, not fall behind in experience, and wait for their level 10s to come online. Johanna going to go out. She's going to try and create some pressure with the Li Ming. Neither team looking very interested in grabbing the objective at this point in the game. Both teams looking like they just want to soak up experience, get their level 10s, or at least level 7 advantage. I favor this kind of a strategy a little more towards FF and the Pancakes just because we know their combo is nasty to deal with. So when their ultimates come online, it's going to be scary, but when the ultimates come online on the side of FC Hong Kong, they could do a lot as well. Thrall getting a little out, starts to smell a little bit of danger, gets down to about quarter, lands a nice root onto Stampy, and Stampy gets down to about quarter health. Thrall gets down, you know, a little unhealthy himself, but was able to root Stampy under tower. That could have been a nice pick if the root had just lasted a little longer or one more tower shot. But F and the Pancakes, they look like they're trying to be the aggressors here. Stampy is on the back line. Rona coming in, counter-engaging onto the coordinate, Mr. G, getting down to about half health. They're both teams looking to disengage. Gaslow's falling fairly low. Murden's Jaeger's on Murden in the backline, just trying to keep each other, keep the pressure away from the rest of his team, be that body. Both teams just skirmishing and electing to back out, go heal up, and go back to their regularly scheduled program of farming up their lanes. Zeratul getting a little bit of pressure mid. Bottom lane is getting some pressure going on there, but FF and the Pancakes, they looking like they're just, again, they're going to go get their camp. They're going to get that experience up. They're waiting for their 10s to come online. FC Hong Kong, the map pressure is in favor of FF and the Pancakes, so they're continually having to respond to the minion waves that are getting pushed into their base. So they're having to deal with all those minions do the Zeratul and Gaslow clear, and then they're falling behind a little bit on the Merc Camp pickup, but they're able to create more pressure with that Merc Camp push-up. So it's all evening out in the long run, but F and the Pancakes, they know they have the map pressure. They're looking to go get this top objective started. So it looks like they're trying to get this first objective going to them. I don't expect that they're going to necessarily fight over it, but they may try to delay it as much as they possibly can. Looks like they're just going to try and get a few channeled seconds and then just back off, knowing that the side of SC Hong Kong was going and dealing with the Merc Camp on their side. The interrupt does go down from the Zeratul. He gets down to about half HP, so he got a couple more seconds onto that, loses a little bit of HP for it, but both teams, again, electing to back off. The fight is between the minions in this middle lane, and each team just kind of trying to create that pressure in the opposing lanes, getting up to that level 10, which favors FC Hong Kong by about a half a level right now. A little less than half a level, about a quarter of a level, to be fair. FC Hong Kong looking like they're trying to now be the aggressors. They know they're close to 10. They're not able to get the experience, but this Merc Camp is putting on some pressure. Johanna getting, or Murden getting down to about half health. Zeratul going in, put some serious damage on the Li Ming. Li Ming gets low, but is able to just go walk over some potions and heal herself back up. That could have been terrifying if Zeratul was able to get one more auto attack onto that Li Ming. That Li Ming, remember, she is fairly squishy, so Zeratul can get that pressure onto her in the back line. That's going to be terrifying, but 6 more seconds and FF and the Pancakes may just go pick up their other one. Looks like Stampy is going to go down. He's going to like to clear that bot lane, get that experience. 10's online for SC Hong Kong, so they're looking like they want to pick this fight. They want to create as much pressure as they can until 10's come online, but now we see 10's online for FF and the Pancakes. Zeratul is rotating back up. Kel'Thas just waiting in the bushes. Everybody's set up. Everybody's waiting for this 10. Zeratul going in, looking for the Void Prism. Lands the 2-man Void Prism. Gazlo coming in with a grab bomb. Going down, hits one member of the side of SC Hong Kong, but the Gazlo loses life for it, so that's a Gazlo for a Decker trade. No healer on the side of FC Hong Kong. The Murden's getting down to about quarter HP, jumps away. Blessed Shield comes out to lock it down. The channel does go off on the side of FC Hong Kong, and they are able to get away with only losing their healer. Stampy looking for more. He sees that their members are low. He does blink away and get a couple members a little lower, but that first objective does go over to FC Hong Kong, and now they look to push. Deckard will be coming out with the team. They're looking like they want to get pressure in that top lane. I would expect them, since they're already there, it's good to create pressure there. We know the next objective is going to be bot lane, so if they can get more pressure in that bot and middle lane, get the health fountains there, that would benefit them more, but they're electing to get a little bit of pressure up in this top lane. They should be able to get at least this entire front wall and the health fountain. The tower is yet to be determined by how low the members of FF and the Pancakes. Gary getting fairly low. The Decker root coming out. Kael'thas getting low on Mr. G as well. And that is 2 kills going over. And that is a massive play by the sides of FC Hong Kong. They will get this top tower, and they should be able to get pressure elsewhere. Stampy looks like he's going to be able to deal with that mid. Gazel coming in to deal with the mid turret as well. So they will only lose eventually 1 tower. But that was 2 more kills going over to FC Hong Kong. That increases their experience lead by about a half of a level. That's going to be a good way to get this next objective fight in their favor. They look like they're even going to continue to try and get this entire wall. The Jaeger is coming out. He's trying to find a fight, since all members are here and they're a little low on mana, especially Li Ming. She was only about a quarter mana, but they're not able to find that pick. They're electing to just go ahead and get their minions, gonna go pick up this mercenary camp and get back into it as best they can on the side of FF and the Pancakes. Meanwhile, FC Hong Kong, they're gonna do pretty much the exact same thing on their side. So we already saw the first level 10 fight. FF and the Pancakes, they did land the Void Prism. It was a 2-man. It looked like it could have been a potentially 3-man. I think that's what Stampy saw on it. And, if it had been a 3-man, it could have been a completely different fight. But it was a 2-man. Grab Bomb did go down, but it was the Void Prism came out a little early. So the Grab Bomb only landed on 1 member instead of 2. So it was a 1-man Grab Bomb. Wasn't the cleanest execution of their first level 10, but there's plenty more time. There's still a lot of game left to be played, and I expect this to only get cleaner for FF and the Pancake. This is a strategy that they love to run. They are very good at executing it, so I expect it to, continue to get better as the game goes on. On the side of SC Hong Kong, if they can avoid that, if they can play around it, know it's coming, position well, and only get that 1 or 2 man, they do have the damage you saw it come out to counter engage and be able to get a kill or even 2 kills and snowball the fight. Courtney getting laid on the mountaintop. Johanna sees it and is able to get him up. This might be a pick down onto Courtney. Courtney's down to about quarter HP. The bombs do bounce, and Mr. G's getting down to about half health. Cassie is coming in as well. Stampy getting low on the Zeratul as well. That is a kill. That is a second kill. And that is 3 kills going over to FC Hong Kong. There's just a little bit of a late mount there by Courtney on the Malfurion, and they were able to dismount her and get the kill, but they're not done. They're looking for more. Jaeger getting low on the Murden. Grab Bomb goes down to save his life, but isn't able to, and that's going to be a 4th kill going over to FC Hong Kong. So FC Hong Kong, they're able to see these little mistakes by FF the Pancakes this game, and they're able to capitalize on them and just continue to create map pressure all across the map. We see the objective coming up in a second. Grab Bomb is going to be down for about 38 more seconds, and this boss is going to be up. So this boss is going to create pressure in the bot lane, which is already getting a lot of pressure. FF and Pancakes are going to go get their siege camp just to get some pressure off of them on that mid lane. But boss going down to FC Hong Kong. Are they going to go get the objective, or are they just going to go try and get that top boss as well and rotate up there? I expect it to be possibly a top boss play just because they want to try and get to that level 16. But FF and the Pancakes, they need to clear this boss or just let the boss go and try and create that fight over the top boss while they're on even talent tier. They're going to go down. They're going to fight over the boss. So at least get it down to about half health. But this will be top boss going over to the side of FC Hong Kong. And they will be able to create map pressure on that top lane, on that exposed keep, and it should also propel them into level 16s, which then you're fighting a talent tier down for the second objective, and that's not going to be good for that side of FF and the Pancakes. They clear the boss out, are able to keep their wall alive. They won't be able to get this boss. Maybe they're going to go start and try to channel as much as they can while they know that the opposing team is on that top lane, but now that top boss is going to push, and it's going to create a lot more pressure than that bot lane boss push. So I expect them just to pick this up and then recall and go back and deal with that top boss. But looks like they're looking like they might want to fight. They are down a talent tier on level 16, so this wouldn't be an ideal fight for them. And now they are going to go back. They are going to go deal with that top boss. And FC Hong Kong, they just have to interrupt the channel and then go start channeling themselves. So this second objective is completely in favor of FC Hong Kong right now. They shouldn't be contested really at all for this second objective. FF and the Pancakes, they just need to clear out their lanes, sit back, clear out the next objective and look to get on an even talent tier and find a fight there. That's their way to back into this. But right now, this game 2 is in demand, driver's seat for FC Hong Kong. They just have to play it smart, play it patient, and they are looking like they are just continuing to gain that XP. Almost a 2-level lead right now. 15 seconds to finish channeling. FF the Pancakes, they may go get this mercenary camp just to try and help with that mid objective that's going to come out. Inside of FC Hong Kong, they're going to get their own as well. Thrall's just like, I got this. Johanna's there for moral support, emotional support, but the second objective is going to go over to the side of FC Hong Kong. And that's pretty much what we expected with this experienced lead now. If they were going to pick a fight on the side of FF the Pancakes, it would have been over that second boss instead of going over the objective. But they elected to go clear the bottom boss and not fight over the second boss, and so now they have to deal with the objective coming in all 3 lanes. They may look to try and pick a fight here before the objective gets here, but I would expect them to just play defensively, try and get a little bit more soak, maybe try to get on even talent tiers, but they are going to go for the fight. So it does go down, get the grab bomb going down onto 2 members, the damage coming out, but it's just not enough. The counter engage from the stay a while listen puts everybody to sleep. Jaeger's going to go down. That's 2 kills going over to FC Hong Kong. Great counter by the Deckard Cain and the burst damage coming out by the Li Ming. And this is going to be the keep going over to FC Hong Kong. I don't know if this is going to be able to... Oh, if Mr. G gets caught here, it could end it. Mr. G getting fairly low. Li Ming does eventually go down. Mr. G is still somehow alive. How did Mr. G live through that? He's being a G, and now that is probably going to prevent this from being game over. It will still be massive keep pressure. They should be able to respond to this mid lane. As long as Courtney can keep Mr. G topped off, they should be able to respond to this mid lane with the kill toss clear. They do have members coming back up. They now on even members. They actually have a 5v4 in this situation. Johanna getting fairly low. They're looking like they're not going to follow up. SC Hong Kong still staying. I think they would be better just to back up, but I don't know if the engage is there. Murden jumping in. He's looking to engage. The rest of the minions are just creating some pressure onto this mid keep, and this is going to be a hard uphill battle for FF and the Pancakes, especially since it's almost level 19 for the side of FC Hong Kong. FF and the Pancakes, I mean, they got to find some way to get a fight before level 20 and get an objective somewhere, get some map pressure, because right now they're just going to be trading objectives, and they can't do that and expect to, continue to be at the same experience level as the FC Hong Kong. FC Hong Kong, they just have to wait. They just have to find ways to stay away from this engage. Zeratul is theirs and he's stealth, so Zeratul could potentially find a good fight that he wants, but FC Hong Kong, they just have to wait, not find a fight that they don't want to take. It looks like they're looking like they want to fight potentially over this bot lane, which is, this is FF and the Pancakes right now. Before that minion, they got minions pushing the mid lane, so they got to pick a fight now. It's now or never time. They got to find a fight that is favorable for them. Zeratul's got to find the pick. Johanna's just sitting in that bush. Nobody's seeing that Johanna. The Thrall does get caught out of here by Stampy, but Jaeger just backing up. The fight wasn't there. They didn't like it. Big damage going down onto the Li Ming. The Void Prism does go down. Cassia Bomb is bouncing. That is going to be a kill over onto the healer again. Healer going down, but Courtney getting caught out on the Malfurion just between the Thrall and the Cassia. Cassia is able to put out massive damage in this fight. It's a 2-kill to 2-kill right now. Cassia is chasing the Gazlowe, trying to get some damage down. Mr. G trying to finish off the Li Ming. Isn't able to. Cassia does finish the Gazlowe, and now she's going to come back and join the fight. Mr. G getting caught out on Kill Toss, and this looks like it's going to go over to the side of FC Hong Kong. That's 4 kills. This could be the 5th kill, and this could be game number 2 going over to FC Hong Kong. The boss is already dealing with the minions in the camp. They've got bot pressure. Death timers are still 28 seconds. This looks like it's going to be game number 2 going over to FC Hong Kong. Early GG coming out there. It wasn't BM. He didn't realize he had all chat on. Cassie getting a little low from the boss, but it should go out there. And this should be, unless Courtney can come out on that Malfurion and create a heroic stand, I expect this fully to go over. Well, it's only about half health. Zeratul is coming out. We'll see what the Zeratul and the Courtney can do. That is a kill over on the Li Ming. The writing's not on the wall yet. Cassia is going to go down. Nope, Zeratul. Oh, Zeratul's re-engaging. Ends up going down for that. The minions got to get dealt with. The boss can't handle that. Gazlo's got to get back, or the Kael'thas has to get down. The boss is going to get killed by these minions, and it's going to be game 2 still going over to FC Hong Kong. GG's now coming out in the chat. Alrighty, that was game 2 going over to FC Hong Kong. Like I said, I liked FF and the Pancake strategy. We knew what they wanted to do. That first execution wasn't there, and it just put them in a little bit of a hole that with the amount of picks, and it really was just the amount of picks, the small pick in that mid lane right before the objective, and then the pick onto the Malfurion before not getting mounted up fast enough that ended up leading to that one little pick led up to 4 kills for the side of FC Hong Kong. So it was really just those 2 fights that snowballed this game massively into FC Hong Kong's favor. Outside of those 2 fights, it was really a pretty even battle. I mean, we saw even though they're down, this whole game in map pressure, that bottom fight, FF and the Pancakes could get some pressure into these fights. It wasn't enough, unfortunately, for this series, and that will be the series going over to FC Hong Kong. They will advance to the semifinals. I do not know who is in the semifinal, who they could potentially face in the semifinals. Let me see if I can pull the tournament up here right now. And let me see if I can get message Geo and see if I can get an interview for this game. Oh, he's not accepting messages from people not on his friends list. Well, I want to be on Geo's friends list. I heard that's the cool place to be, is on Geo's friends list. I'll message him in Discord real quick and let me get Division E playoffs are pulled up. So they will play the winner of Illa Dancing Queens and Fredonia, which I believe is being played on Thursday. So let me... Okay, they are ready to do an interview. So let me get this set up real quick. I'm going to go to casting law. Let's go to lobby 5. We'll wait to see. Oh, we already got someone in here. Hello.
My name is Nematode. I was told to come here.
His name is Nematode, and he was told to come here. Like it. Congratulations on the win.
Thanks.
This is the Cassia player, and game 1 you played. I can't remember.
Greymane.
Greymane, yes, you were the Greymane player first. So this is the auto attack player for the side of FC
Yeah.
Hong Kong.
Yep.
Well,
Yep. I do a lot of auto attack type heroes.
I mean,
with a ADC main in League of Legends for a number of years, and I came over to this game. I was actually in beta, but then left and then came back. But it's a long, boring story.
well, I mean, if you're an ADC main in League of Legends, auto attack is where you want to be in this game for sure. That's your
I feel like
comfort
there's
zone.
a lot of stuff that transfers.
Yeah,
from those
exactly.
positions.
So tell me, strategy. What was your guys'? You guys got the map. You chose to go into Infernal Shrines. What was your guys' strategy going into that, and how did you guys find your way back into that game, and ultimately that back door at the end of game 1?
Well, the strategy is always just do what Ronan says, So we follow the calls. He says go here, I go there. I think overall the plan was to sort of focus on getting to objective first, trying to position well around objective, and control and win objective every time. So it was working to a greater or lesser degree for a while. We had some trouble with that, and then at the end of the game, towards the end, we realized that we were getting hosed by the Zol kept coming in and doing dirty things to us. So
Yeah.
we kind of made a point of looking out for him, and that was kind of where we found some ground, got some ground back.
So the strategy, sounds like the strategy was that Zool is just putting us down the ground, find a way to get him under control, and it looked like you guys were doing with the fights that you could get that Zool under control. You guys had that response where you could win those team fights. The times where Zool was sneaking in, as Zool does, it looked pretty tough. The Stukov was just trying his hardest to keep everybody alive.
And I'm glad you brought up Tiny, because that was ultimately who got the Zool in the end. Was Tiny was able to find him with some really choice, like stun, silent. That thing that he can do at 13 where he silences and stuns at the same time.
Yep.
Was able to get him in a couple of those, and that's how we were able to kill him
Yeah, he got
both
him
times
once with
before
the
he got his
push
ulti
too.
off. Yeah, yeah. I think he interrupted his ulti once or twice. So Tiny really took that on and really took charge of that. So props
Awesome.
to him.
Yeah, and then I mean, the call was Ronan said, "You know what? We lose if we go top lane, so let's just try it." Is that what went down for that final push?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was like it was an all in type thing. It was like, well, we got to get the turn card. So hey, we've been saying we got a straight flush. I guess we'll hope that it's an ace of spades when he puts it over, and it was. So it just kind of worked out. Like we were like, if they don't see us, we might have a chance. And so
Well, I think
yeah.
I have to go back and do it, but I think he did it with four people too. You didn't even have the full five to do it with,
Well, I think
and
Ronan was dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so you had the four, and I was like, oh man, if they get scouted, if they see this, and you guys got to the core before they started their back, it's like maybe, and then I was like, no,
Hmm.
it's just not gonna happen. They're back, and then I was like, wait, Greymane's not getting focused. Greymane may do this, and it seemed like as you were dying, falling backwards, he got
Yeah.
that last shot to go off because it was sitting at one
They
percent for the longest time.
Yeah, no, they knew to come after me. They were like gotta kill the gray man. So I could tell that they knew who was number one priority.
Yeah,
And I tried to get as many hits off. And yeah, actually, I think it was like Goldan's. It was
it may have
Ace.
been, it may have been
God,
the corruption too. It was
yeah, it
it
was
was
the
at one
corruption
percent
with the
forever. I
plant.
was
But
like, oh, could it happen? And
yeah,
it did. All right, so game one, exciting. Game two, what was first off, how did you all calm down after that exciting game one finish, and then recalibrate and go into game two, looking at the comp that you saw that they had? What was your plan to deal with that massive wombo combo that they pulled out with the Zeratul, Gazlo, Kale toss?
oh yeah, the Wombo was super fun. Um, well, first of all, I mean, major props to Ronan and Geo and just the whole team for really. That's something we've been working on a lot. Is like just not trying to point fingers, but be like, hey guys, what's happening here? And just like take a step back and
Mhm.
not like because we can get hot headed. I don't know if you ever watch Geo's streams. That guy, you know,
I've watched a couple, yeah.
he's a very emotional person, and that's why he's so fun to play with. But it's also like sometimes we all get we're all like that. We just get too invested in this dumb little game,
Sure, sure. The
and that's what makes it
competitiveness
fun.
comes out.
Yeah, 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 exactly. That makes it fun. So I forgot what I was at. What the hell I was talking about.
Going into game two, the wombo combo. What was your guys'
Oh,
strategy in dealing with that, recognizing it, and then
honestly, yeah, yeah. I think with game two, we were just trying to establish a lot of map pressure and just outpush them,
yeah,
and that's really and then go from there. And we kept they had a great wombo, but they couldn't ever really get coalesced.
hmm
So and we kept picking them off, and I think we were just faster around the map.
yeah. I've seen this combo before from them. They usually run it. I think I usually see it with the Orpheus. So going with the Kael'thas, I was like, this is going to be interesting to see if they could still get it. But yeah, they usually run it very clean. But I think you guys just had an excellent. Your positioning was fantastic to the point of I think they only caught like one or two people every time they dropped
Yeah,
that combo, rather than
yeah,
like
we
it
were
being like a 3 or 4 man, which have seen them
yeah.
do consistently before. So
Yeah,
I
really
would.
props to Cake. He was like being very careful with his positioning in game two. I think he felt like he'd gotten caught forward a couple times, and we all felt like we were out of place. We were like, guys, we need to like work on our positioning. So
Mhm,
so we were really that was something we talked about going into game two was like stay chill, don't like chase kills, just like stay close to each other.
yeah.
So I think that helped too because we weren't funneling into those chokes like you said that would set up the wombo that position us badly for that kind of stuff. So
hmm hmm
it was yeah, we were just kind of taking what they gave us and staying position wise and making them come to us.
Yep. And so going off of that, I gotta ask. It was a two game series. First one went to you guys 2-1. This one went 2-0. I gotta ask. Your next opponents in the playoffs, Illa Dancing Queens or Fredonia. Who are you looking forward to and that series? Who you
Well,
hoping to get?
of course we want Illa Dancing Queens. I mean, how can you not want to go against those guys? They're so
Good.
fun to play against. They're so fun to beat. They're so fun to lose to, but not really. But they just And I think Tiny called him out recently, so
Uh
we've
oh.
got I think we've already got a little thing going here where we're gonna try, yeah. So
All
that's who we
right.
got. That's who we
So
got our
FC
eye on.
Hong Kong is gonna be rooting for the Illa Dancing Queens in their matchup to get a
We
semifinal
have an
series.
unfinished score. We want to
And
set
it's
we
going to
want to
be a
set that
best of
score.
five. So instead of being a best of three, it will be
Yeah.
a
Oh,
best
that'll
of
be
five.
fun.
So now it's going to go the long haul in that series too.
Yeah. But we would love to play either team. The other team beat us too, I think. So we have scores to settle everywhere.
There you go. Absolutely. All right. Tell me, who do you think of this series was your team's MVP?
It was have to be Tiny. Definitely Tiny. He's
Tiny.
always like, the chillest person. He always like is our center, brings us back. Gotta go with Tiny. He's the glue that holds it all together.
Yeah, and he keeps the opposing team silenced and stunned, keeps the Zool away.
Yes, he
Hey, he
keeps the
did
Zool
land.
away.
There was one time I was giving him massive props. I think it was you guys were sieging bot tower with the second objective, um, the bot lane keep wall, and they got their wombo onto three of you. I think it was the only time they got it onto more than two members, but they didn't get Deckard, and he timed to stay a while and listen like
Yeah.
perfectly, and he put the
Yes.
whole opposing team to sleep, so you guys could just walk
Oh
out of
yeah.
that
Yeah.
combo.
I forgot about all those stay whiles. Oh yeah. I'm so glad I said him for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
That to me, I was like, wow, Deckard MVP of that fight. Like, holy moly,
Yeah.
he just kept everybody alive. I think he landed. It was either a 4 or 5 man stay a while. It was just beautiful to see. But all right, so the support. And you always got to give the support love. Like support players, their life is just hectic. But
Especially with us.
alrighty, any shout outs you would like to give? The floor is yours, Nematode. If there's anybody you'd like to, or any fans in Twitch chat that you'd like to
Um.
shout out to.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of support from the community. So just in general, this NGS has been a lot of fun for us. So I got to give it to the whole NGS community. It's really been a great experience. So I'm happy that we signed up and did it.
And it looks like you guys are going to continue into next season as well, potentially.
I'm
Keep your
sure
keep
we're
your
hoping
reign
to.
going. Reign of
No
terror.
reason not to keep playing.
Awesome. Alrighty. Well, this was Nematode, the auto attack player slash League of Legends extraordinaire from FC
Nematode.
Hong
I don't
Kong.
want I don't want to quibble. I prefer nematode. That's okay though.
Nematode, sorry, Nematode.
It's all good.
I got to get that right. If I get you guys again, I want to get that one right. Is it also the tiny? How do you say the second part? Is it no tie?
No tie. Yeah.
No tie. Okay, I got to remember that because I was struggling with that the whole time, and I was like, tiny gnoti? I don't know. Alrighty, this was Nematode from the FC Hong Kong winners in a 2-0 series going on. Congratulations again, and best of luck to you in your semifinal matchup.
Thanks.
Thank you. Alrighty, so as we saw, that was a more decisive victory from the side of FC Hong Kong in Game 2. Sadly, FF and the Pancakes, they are eliminated, but we know that they, put up an amazing Game 1. I was hoping we'd get a Game 3 out of this series. That looked like promising, but unfortunately, FC Hong Kong, they were able to, pull it back together after that Game 1 and get in the driver's seat and just didn't ever get off the gas pedal in that Game 2 and had a much more commanding game in that second series. So I'm going to look in chat real quick, see if I missed any questions or anything. Geo apologizing for the GG. Well, like I said again, I knew it wasn't supposed to be BM. I didn't think it was, accidentally getting the all chat. I've seen it happen so many times. I've been on the same side as you where people are talking. Sometimes it's people trying to say GG in ally chat weren't meaning to say it to all, but looks like it's mostly just good games coming out through all the chat. So I'm gonna end this stream. I don't think there are any more games that we can raid. Let me double check. No other games going on tonight. That was the last game for the playoffs of NGS, but make sure you support NGS playoffs. It's going to be exciting, especially Division E. This is the first game of many games to come in Division E. I'm excited to see what the rest of the quarterfinals and the semifinals. We've got 2 games coming up on Thursday night. I may be casting one of them. I haven't committed to it yet. I've got a request to cast one of the games Thursday night, but I have to check a schedule to make sure I can do it. So I may be on Thursday night for another cast I believe that one is the Baddest Dudes versus the Devil's Rejects. But if it gets picked up by somebody else, I'm sure I'll be in another Division E matchup here in the not too distant future. So, with that, I'm going to close out this stream. Have a fantastic night, everybody. Thanks for stopping by and enjoying some Heroes action, and go enjoy Nexus. See you later.